Thanks for tuning in and welcome back to the shop. Today I am going to paint the subframe for the Fuso.
The steel framework has been sandblasted clean, ready for application of Chasis Saver paint, and the hardware is all set up and ready to go. If you missed it, I did a video on cleaning the rust off the hardware. Be sure to check that out too.
Yes, I will be using Chasis Saver paint again, even though this isn't rusty steel. Now, Chasis Saver generally requires that there is still rust on the surface. However, the alternate preparation, instead of having rust on fresh steel, is to sandblast it. That's why I've had the subframe blasted, so we should be good to go. It should have enough profile to bite into.
As you can see, I'm having some difficulty opening this can of Chasis Saver even though it's new. This is what I was talking about in the previous video with the paint gluing steel together. Removing the lid completely destroyed it, but luckily I still had the lid from when I painted the chassis. I'm still using my little touch-up gun, so I can't load all that much paint at a time, so between fill-ups I'm putting a small amount of the S8 reducer into my mixed paint cup to prevent it from kicking off. Remember, Chasis Saver is a moisture cure, so the exposure to the air will start it curing. Same as with the chassis, I'm starting from the inside and working my way out, as well as working from the back of the frame to the front. I also find that wearing a headlamp helps to see where the paint is going in the shadowy areas. The downside to this touch-up gun is not so much that it holds less paint, but it really doesn't provide for a huge spray pattern, which means it does take quite a while to get the job done. Getting into the tight corners and the hidden spaces is where this smaller touch-up gun does have its advantages. Though it may not look like it, this structure does have a lot of surface area to cover. I'm running the air pressure at about 15 psi, which really reduces the overspray compared to when I finished off the chassis with this gun. I think you can see the difference. I'm not spraying a cloud all around me. Somehow I've managed to get this far without covering myself in paint, but man, this gets tiring on the arms. Now, obviously I'll have to hit a few spots later where the subframe is resting on a supporting structure, but they're very small spots and would be easy to touch in when I'm painting the next parts like the front axle or anything on the front of the truck that I have not done yet. The Chasis Saver paint starts curing pretty quickly, and that, combined with my super slow progress because of the small spray pattern, means that by the time I get finished the first coat, it's ready to start a second. I've used a full quart this time around, and to be honest, probably was a little light in some areas. If I had more paint, I probably would have continued with a third coat. "24 hours later, and here's how it looks. Might be time to paint the trailer soon. Well, I think that came out pretty well, and considering it will all be underneath and no one will ever really see this, I can say I'm happy with the results. Fast forward, and here it is on the Fuso. Now we're starting to get somewhere.
Well, as you can see by the fact that I'm wearing a sweater and a hat in my shop, it's already starting to cool down in here. I have now turned my heater on in the shop, so it is officially fall. Although the paint looks shiny and fresh, there are still a number of things that I need to do before I can mount the flat deck on here in order to start building the camper. So that means more videos coming. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching that video, and if you did, please give us a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you haven't already. Throw a comment down below if you've got a question, and I'll do my best to answer it. And if you think this video could help someone, please share it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.